welcome back to Stylish Naija YouTube channel. I want to say thank you to all of my subscribers. Thank you guys for subscribing to Stylish Naija YouTube channel. Thank you for your love, for your support. If you are new to the channel, you're highly and very welcome. And if you have not subscribed, please, I would appreciate if you hit on the subscribe button and then hit on the bell on the side to get an update whenever I upload a new video. Okay, so in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to cut and sew an off-shoulder halter neckline A-line gown. So you can see the picture showed to you earlier on. It's a simple gown. This is a very this is a very cute gown. You can use it for your summer, you can use them for your outings. So it's just a cute gown. That's just it. So that's what I'm going to show you guys how to cut and sew today. So if you find this video helpful, please, I would appreciate if you hit on the like button. Please like this video. Actually, it takes nothing for you to hit on the like button. And if you have not subscribed already, what are you waiting for? Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I would appreciate if you would do that. And then hit on the bell to get an update whenever I upload a new video. And then you can follow me on all of my social media platforms: Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, all at Stylish Naija. And then if you want to register for my online classes, you can just see my number scrolling through the screen. Send me a message on WhatsApp. I'll give you the details of the classes we have presently available. Okay, now, so let's get started. So the fabric that I have here, I have about 1.5 yards of fabric. That's what I'm going to be making use of because it is an off shoulder. So it's going to be enough for me, so you can see. So I'm going to fold this fabric into 4 because I'm going to cut the back and the front together. Okay, so I'm going to make use of my entire fabric. I'm not folding it, so you have different, if you have been following me, they have different patterns. I actually have different patterns of cutting an A-line dress. You can fold at an angle, you can decide not to fold. So for this one, I'm not going to be folding because we don't have much fabric. Okay, so now let's get started. So I'm going to make use of this entire fabric. So as we go along, we'll work with the measurement. So because it is an off shoulder, I'm going to be taking out 5 inches from my original measurement. So that's my 5 inches. So my bust and point line now, my bust point is 11 inches. I don't want to stain my fabric too much. So that's 11 inches. So that's just like basically where we are going to be measuring. That's like the measurement we're going to use because I don't want the bust area to be too big, but the other part is going to be open. So the next thing, I'm going to mark my waist part. So that's my waist, which is 17. So now we have it all going. So now let's come to the chest line. So this part now is going to be the chest line part. That's the part that we dropped with 5 inches. So let me just double check. Okay, so this part is where our chest line is going to be. So since it is an halter neckline, what we're going to do now, the next thing now, we're going to mark our shoulder measurement. So the shoulder measurement that I'm making use of for this is 14 inches. So when you divide 14 into 2, you have 7 inches. So I'm just going to add 1 inch, which I'm still going to take out. I'll add this like this on my neckline part, and then I'm going to mark my armhole. So for the armhole, I'll use 8 inches for my armhole. So my armhole is going to come like this. I just want you to see what I'm doing. So that's my armhole now. And then after marking that armhole, the next thing I'm going to do now, I'm going to mark the bust measurement. So for the bust, my normal bust, I'm using 40 inches, which is 10. But since it is a free dress, I'm going to add a little bit of ease to it. So I'll add about 2 inches of ease to it. So that 2 inches, I'm going to mark it like this. So once I mark it like this, from this point, see what I am just going to go ahead and do. And then I'm going to mark this like this. So you can see my A-line curve. So for the down part, you are going to determine, it still depends on how much width you want for the down. If you don't want it to be too wide, you can decide to reduce it. So this, I reduced a little bit, so it is not too wide. So I'm using a free hand, so you can just make use of your ruler to make it perfect. So now I'm going to go ahead, I'll cut this out right now. So I did not cut it into the armhole area. So the next thing now we're going to work on the chest area. So depends on how wide you want that chest, like the neckline to be there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come to, my armhole, sorry, my shoulder measurement. I'm going to reduce my shoulder measurement. I'm going to use about 4 inches. So 4 inches is going to be like 8 inches in front. So you can determine that. You can measure your clients or measure yourself. So I'll use 4 inches. I'll just add half of an inch to it here like this, and then after adding that half of an inch to it, what I'm going to do from this part, I'm just going to float this. It is an altar neckline. I'm just going to float this into my armhole part. So you see what I'm doing? It's going to be straight, it's not curved, you understand? So I'll just mark it into that armhole area like this. Just mark it out straight. So this part, so I forgot to tell you as I was measuring it. Normally I was supposed to leave 2 inches, because we're going to create a casing here that we're going to pass that rope into. So that I'm going to take out from the down part. So I should have added it to this part, but I forgot. I just remembered now. So I'm just going to cut this part like this. I'll cut this part straight, and then this I'm not going to cut. Normally I'm supposed to cut it open like this, but I'm not going to cut it open, because if I cut it open, it's going to reduce my fabric. So I'm just going to open this up like this from this point like this. So because of that 2 inches now, I'm still going to go down on my armhole a little bit. That 2 inches, I need to add it. If not, if I don't add it, if I do this, it's still going to truncate this part a little bit. So that armhole, I'm going to take it, let it get to this part. Let it get to the under bust, that is on the top of the bust, which is 10 inches instead of 8. So that 2 inches now is what I'm going to use to fold this part, and then this part is going to be like this. So you can see what we have. So you can see the down. So I'm still going to reduce the side a little bit, and then we'll go and start stitching it. It's a very simple project. Okay, so I've reduced the down part a little bit more. So when I opened it, it was looking too wide, so I had to reduce it. So now I have about 16 inches instead of that 19 that I used initially. So now the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to open my neckline, both the back and the front, because I'm not going to add any zip to this. So I'm going to open them. So you are going to determine how much depth you want for the neckline. So for this, I'm going to go with about, I just always make sure you remember your 2 inches or 1 inch that you are going to use as your casing for the rope. Put that in place before you open. So 4.5 inches is okay for me. So I'll stop my 4.5 inches here, and then I'm going to cut it open. So with this, it will be easy for me to wear. So now the next thing, I'll show you how I'm going to go and stitch this now. So first of all, what I'm do, I'll take this to my machine, and then depends on what you want to do, however you want to do yours. I'm not going to line this dress, so I'll just take this to my machine, and then I'll give it a clean stitch on the neckline like this, from here to here. I'll do the same thing to the back. After doing that, I'll fold this together. I'll fold this like this, and then I'll secure it down like this, and then do the same thing to this one, this part also, and then I'll secure it down. And then my armhole, I'll turn out my armhole. So it depends on how you want to finish your armhole. So mine, I'm going to just turn it in like this. I'll use my hemming gum to secure it down. After that, I'll fold them, and then I'll join. It's going to stay like this, and then I'll join it on the side together. I'll join the side like this. So okay, let's just take it simple and easy. So let's just go and do the first ones. Finish the neckline like this, and then fold it down just with a clean stitch, and then take care of the armhole, and then I'll iron it neatly, and then bring it back and show you it is a simple dress. And then show you how to join the sides. Okay, so you can see what I was saying. So I finished securing it down, so you can see how it looks so beautiful. And then the sleeves. So the next thing I'm going to do now, I'm going to place them like this, and then I'm going to stitch the armhole. So I'll use my armhole measurement because I don't want it to be too wide. So I'm just going to measure it like this. So from this point like this, I'm going to stitch. I'll stitch it to this down part and then come back and show you how to pass the rope. You can see it is a very simple dress. So and then I'll stitch it down. Okay, so you can see I'm almost done with my dress. So you can see how easy this dress is to make. So for the rope that I'm going to use on my neckline, I'm going to use a ribbon. So I just want something a little bit different from my main fabric. So this is how I'm going to pass it. So you can do this in two ways. There are some, you can decide to pass the rope, let the rope be equal. But mine, that's what I mean by equal, as it's not going to have any drop. But mine, it's going to have a drop at the back. You can decide for the drop to be at the front. Depends on what you want. So I'm just going to pass my rope across. And then I'll pass it to the back like this. And then once I get to that back, so you need your armhole size on this part. So it depends on how much you want it to be. So it depends on, you can see this is going to serve like the sleeve drop. So when you put it on, it's going to stay like this. So you can adjust it however you want to adjust it. So I'll pass the one on this side also like this. So at the end of the day, I'm going to have it at the back. So the excess is going to drop at the back. That's how what I want. So it's optional. You can just decide for it not to have any excess, but you still need to have a little bit of excess. So when you're putting it on, you'll be able to put it on fine. So I'm just going to turn it like this so you can see it properly. So this is going to be the back of my dress. So that's my hemming gum. So this is going to be the back of the dress. So you see how it's going to look like. So I have my excess here, but for like the sleeve. So it depends on you, when you put it on, you adjust it to however. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. So I'll place this on my mannequin. So this one, you can just tie it. So but if you don't want this, you can cut your rope. As if you don't want this excess, you can cut your rope and just make sure you adjust it to the size of the sleeve. So most times you just use your 5 inches like this. Make sure that that extra has an extra of 5 inches, which is 10, because divided into two, so it stays on the shoulder part, and then you cut this part out of it, and then you can just stitch, so and then pull it in. So with that, you are not going to have any of this excess. So I'll place this on the mannequin now for you to see how it. Okay guys, so at the end of the day, you can see how our outer off shoulder neckline dress looks like. It actually came out really fine. So for the strap, you can adjust it just like I explained, however you want to adjust it. So thank you so much. If you find this video helpful, please hit on the like button, and if you have not subscribed already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much. I'll see you in my next video.